On January 20th, President Donald Trump signed Executive Order 14172, naming the body of water off of Southwest Florida the Gulf of America. Now we're bringing the Gulf of America right to your door. If you're looking to show your patriotism and rep the Gulf of America, go on madeInswiffle.com to get your Gulf of America gear. Hats for 15, shirts for 20, and koozies are just $5. It's simple, affordable, and made right here in America. MadeInswiffle.com. Get all your Gulf of America gear shipped right to your door anywhere in the USA. On today's episode of America Unfiltered with James Pascalides, we'll talk about the Elon Musk, Bret Baier interview. We'll talk about Tucker Carlson's interesting interview on vaccinated pilots, tax deductions on cars bought in the United States, Utah finally banning fluoride, the White House posting more kill cams, and the Peter Hegseth drama. All that and much more coming up on today's episode of America Unfiltered with James Pascalides, starting now.
The moment is here. This is our moment.
We are back, baby. Welcome to another episode of America Unfiltered with James Pascalides. This is episode 37. I'm going to dive right on into my topics today. I already talked to you guys about what they are. My first topic I want to talk to you about, if you guys haven't already seen it, I want to talk to you about the Elon Musk, Bret Baier interview. It happened on Fox last night. I also posted the entire interview on my channel as well, so you guys can go check that out right now if you have not seen it. But the interview was with Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency employees as well. So if you guys don't already know, I've talked about it a bunch before, but Elon Musk is heading the Department of Government Efficiency. They're aiming to slash over $1 trillion from the federal spending within the first 130 days. This is something that a lot of Americans are behind. We, as Americans, can agree that our government on both sides, Republican and Democrat, have continuously spent our money and failed to pass audits and have continuously failed the American taxpayer when it came to passing these audits. Any business in the United States or any person in the United States who failed an audit like our government does would be subject to intervention by our government, by the IRS, by FBI, different government agencies. It's unfair to the American taxpayer that our tax money is being spent poorly and on things that we do not agree with. Not only that we don't agree with, but things we don't know at all. Our money is being spent on things in other countries that have nothing to do with America that we're not told about, and they don't tell us about these things because they know we wouldn't approve. They know we would not approve on millions of dollars being spent to see if quails are more sexual with cocaine. They know we wouldn't approve of them spending over $500,000 to see if fish will fight more given tequila or rum. I mean, one's an upper, one's a downer. I feel like it's a pretty obvious question. They didn't have to spend $500 million to figure out. But this is where our government's at. And Elon Musk took on this interview where he talked about just all the different challenges. They talked about in the interview how I've talked about this in the previous episode too, but there's a mine, and the mine is where all the retirement records are stored and the process for retiring takes place. So the speed at which they can retire federal employees almost depends on the mine shaft elevator, the slow mine shaft elevator, and then them being able to locate the files in a mine filled with over 50,000 paper files in rows 10 feet or 10 stacks high. It's a ridiculous thing. It should not exist, and they're currently trying to create a new system completely online that would take just a few days. Obviously, this is the right move to move everything to a digital system. That's the world we're living in now. Almost everything is digital. The fact that we can't retire people out of our own federal government just due to the speed of a elevator mine shaft is kind of embarrassing. It's something you'd hear out of a third world country. Like if you said to me, you named any third world country and you said, yeah, one of the biggest problems in their government is they store all their files in a mine, and they have to locate the files in the mine and get down to the mine to actually do any, work in their government. The fact that that's a thing in America is ridiculous. We are, one of the furthest, most advanced nations in the world. Why are we using a mine, a mine in Pennsylvania to store all these records? And why are we using all paper records in 2025? Why over the last 70 years since they opened this mine have they not changed anything? Why not in the early 2000s when big tech boom and things like that were happening? Why didn't they digitize this. They didn't do it because they wanted to keep the corruption going. They knew that why would they push against getting paid? Why would they push against getting a free paycheck? There are hundreds and thousands of government employees who literally don't work at all. They just collect salaries from the government through either kickback salaries or just etc. things. And it's all due to the lack of transparency that we have with our government, with our taxpayer money, with the treasury, and with everything that DOGE is trying to figure out right now. I really commend Elon Musk and DOGE for the hard work they do. There are some paid DOGE employees, but a lot of them work for free as well. So you have a lot of people who are basically donating their time and efforts completely just because they love America, love this country, and they hate the wasteful spending, the waste, fraud, and abuse that our government has put on the American taxpayers' pockets over the last few decades. I think it's atrocious. We really need to shift away from the reckless and needless spending. We need to, Vivek Ramaswamy when he was running for president, he said something and it really stuck with me. You need to take all the budgets and you need to make them zero. And then you need to ask the agencies, what do you need to run? And then go from there. But you can't just allow them to keep writing blank checks that will cash no matter what. That's the thing with our government, is our checks will never bounce because we'll just print more money. So we need to create a system where we're not just writing blank checks, knowing that the checks won't bounce no matter what we put on them, because that's a ridiculous situation that's only going to lead to further inflation if DOGE didn't come in and fix this. We really, no matter what side of the aisle you fall on, you really have to look at it and thank Elon Musk and Donald Trump for making this agency, because again, inflation was going through the roof under the Biden regime. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris had no idea what they were doing consistently throughout their entire presidential campaign. And it was very clear. I mean, inflation went through the roof and we're dealing with that now. And if DOGE didn't fix this, then we'd be dealing with way worse inflation over the next few years. So I'm very grateful we have Elon Musk, we have DOGE. Like I said, I'm going to include the entire link to the interview in the bio of this. And I also posted it on my channel for you guys to check out as well. I think you guys should check out the interview. It's about 30 minutes with Bret Baier on Fox News, and it's amazing. I do want to go on to our next topic today. For our next topic, I want to talk about Tucker Carlson, talking about, he did an interview where he talked about how vaccinated pilots are at higher risk for myocarditis and different health risks while flying in the air at higher altitudes. There is a video with this, so I want to show you guys the video, and then I want us to pick the video apart a little bit. But like I said, in the video, Tucker Carlson highlights all the possible health complications with vaccinated pilots.
Flying a plane with vaccinated pilots because I think it's too dangerous. But are there numbers on this?
Oh, yeah.
So tell me what they are.
So my organization, Airline Employees for Health Freedom, we started getting phone calls. I know somebody that's sick, or I know this, or I know that. So we just put a data collection link up, and it got so intense that I said, you know what? I'm going to stop everything. I'm going to write my dissertation, and I'm going to study the vaccine injury amongst commercial airline pilots. It was about 7 months of data collection, 1,600 plus respondents across the industry. And understand the population is about 80-20 vaxxed, right? My study actually came out about 50-50 because a whole bunch of my unvaccinated friends wanted to help, which watered down my numbers, but it actually makes them that much more powerful, because at 50-50, if I found this, what would I have found at 80-20? And what I found is commercial airline pilots in the United States are suffering pericarditis and myocarditis at rates exceeding the CDC's national average. And I proved it to a 98% plus or minus 4.
That I want to make anyone scared to fly or anything, but the idea after hearing something like that of flying with a vaccinated pilot is definitely a lot scarier than the idea of flying with an unvaccinated pilot. The idea of, your pilot having a heart attack mid-air, I understand there's a co-pilot, but no one wants to be in a situation where the co-pilot's taking over. You want your pilot to be at the wheel, strong, doing his thing. But, to imagine your pilot just having a heart attack mid-air, especially when you could be over a body of water, a big city, wherever. I mean, anywhere you're falling out of the air in a plane is scary. So anywhere your pilot's having a heart attack in the air is scary. I think I would love to see a lot more data and a lot more information on this. Obviously, Tucker Carlson is fairly right-leaning. He definitely falls in the middle on a lot of things, but he's fairly right-leaning. So this is something that I would love to see a lot more data on, especially when they're saying to a 98th, 98% accuracy, give or minus 4. I mean, that's pretty insane. I think after hearing this video, I did my own research a little bit as well, just so you guys know. I found out that the FAA, they have been pressed to conduct a thorough investigation on this. They are going to look into it. They haven't issued any updated flight assessments or flight risk assessments yet, but apparently several pilots have anonymously reported feeling pressure to get vaccinated despite medical concerns. The industry in aviation is fairly divided on that. A lot of airlines do mandate vaccination for all their crew, while others allow exemptions based on medical advice. So I don't think that the vaccine should ever be mandated. I think that's un-American and unpatriotic. And like I said, I would love to see just a lot more information on this. This is pretty eye-opening to hear something like this, but just hearing it without seeing the physical data is definitely something I question slightly. I don't want to call any of these facts until we see any of that additional data, but I am going to be doing a ton of additional research over this weekend, over the next week, trying to find more information on this because, I mean, if this is real, this is an extremely big thing. This shows that not only did our government, through just forcing people to get the vaccines, things like that, but forcing airline pilots to do it and then putting Americans' lives at risk in the future because the pilots aren't as good as unvaccinated pilots because of the potential for them to have a heart attack midair. I mean, that's an extremely scary thought. So, like I said, I'm going to do all my own research on this. I urge all my listeners to do the same. If anyone has any information on this too, I would love them to come forward and talk about it. I would love to have them on the show too. I think this is a very interesting topic, and I think the more information that comes out on this, it seems fairly accurate. The idea that altitude would affect that does make a lot of sense. So I really hope this isn't true, but I really do want to see, as more information comes out on it, what they do say, because like I said, I think this could be one of the most interesting things I've talked about on here, and it could develop into a really, really big story. I do want to go on to our next topic. For our next topic, I'm going to show you guys another video. We have 2 more videos today. This video is a quick one. It's of Donald Trump talking about how he is going to change the auto industry in the United States. So Donald Trump has announced a lot of different things regarding the auto industry. He pretty much said if your car is not made in America, there will be a tariff on it. All American-made cars won't have tariffs. And then he just announced this as well. He announced for the first time that he will be allowing Americans to make tax deductions on the interest payments for cars that are made and bought in America. This is a huge thing. This has never been done before. It seems extremely obvious and extremely simple, and I think that's sometimes where the best ideas come from. Just the extremely obvious, simple things that we don't think of in our everyday, but someone as smart as Donald Trump can think of. So I'm going to pop this video up for you guys, and we'll pick it apart for a second right after.
And if you build a car in the United States, and one thing that I just spoke with John Thune about, I just spoke to Mike Johnson about, Speaker, we're going to do something that has never been done in this country before. I'm very proud to say it was my idea. And so sometimes a simple idea, they say, how'd you think of that one? It's so simple, it was never done. If you buy a car in the United States that's made in the United States, if it's manufactured here, when you borrow money, if you borrow money, you have interest payments, we're going to let you deduct the interest payment for income tax reasons. And I think that's going to more than pay for itself. I think people are going to be, they've never had a deduction. You know, deductions are supposed to be for like rich people, and it's unfair to have that. But rich people are, I think I know more about deductions than any human being on earth. But, you know, the truth is that people that are middle-income people that buy a car and actually have to borrow money, they're going to now get an interest deduction on their car if it's made in the United States. If it's made someplace else, that won't take place. But
this is extremely big news for the United States. It almost just became profitable to buy cars in some ways. If you have extremely good credit and you have smarted investing skills as well, or just average investing skills, you know, if you could average 7-8% and you're able to write your interest off and your interest rate is lower than that, and you're able to just invest the money you would use to buy a car in the time to have that pay for the interest, which you're then writing off at the same time, you're you're not making money, but you're putting money down towards your car that you did not have, that you're creating out of the interest through investing. So not only for that instance, but I mean, in general, for all Americans, this is going to be a huge thing. Paying less in taxes is the most American thing you can do. Our country was founded on that. There was a 1% tax on tea, and we threw it in the harbor. Democrats are proposing over 50% tax for billionaires. It is absurd. Taxes should not garnish your wages. Taxes should not make it harder to survive. Taxes should make a country thrive, and they should be a lot less than what we're currently paying. Most Americans can agree on that. Joe Biden did not. That's why he hired, I think it was 88,000 new IRS agents who Donald Trump then fired. He said, you guys can go work on the Border Patrol if you want. No, most of you won't, but if you won't, you're fired. And I love that. I love that Donald Trump puts his foot down. He's putting the American taxpayer first, the American people first. He knows the American taxpayer does not want to pay for 88,000 new IRS agents. He knows that the American taxpayer is looking for every way they can to pay less in taxes. He knows that not only will it make him way more popular, but it will also make everybody in the country a lot more money. It will put more money back in your pockets. It will make you pay less in taxes, therefore bettering your life as an American. I think Donald Trump putting Americans first consistently is one of his best qualities. Donald Trump has been an excellent leader for the American people, and I'm extremely happy with everything Donald Trump has been doing over the last 3 months. He has been killing it, and especially when you just look compared to other presidents. Donald Trump versus Joe Biden, Donald Trump versus Obama, Donald Trump versus Bill Clinton, Donald Trump versus George Bush. Donald Trump is not only being transparent with the American people, he's trying to lower taxes for the American people, he's trying to remove America from any war. He is also trying to do everything he can to de-escalate all the other wars happening around the world. These are things that none of the other presidents did. And then on top of that, one of the biggest things, creating a government agency that people actually like. One of the biggest problems with our government is we have so many government agencies that Americans hate. Americans don't trust the FBI, they don't trust the CIA, they don't trust the IRS, they don't trust the ATF, they don't trust all these three-letter agencies because they've become corrupted and manipulative and have gaslit the American people over time. Donald Trump created the Department of Government Efficiency, a government agency that American people can get behind that allows American taxpayers to know that their tax dollars are being spent well and not on waste, fraud, and abuse like they have been over the last few decades. I think this is one of the greatest things for the American taxpayer, for the American people. This is going to not only make our country rich, make our country great again, but it will make us extremely successful, and it's got to feel patriotic knowing that our government is finally putting their foot down when it comes to waste, fraud, and abuse spending of taxpayer dollars. I'm so exhausted of my money being wasted that I pay in taxes. I do want to go on to our last few topics today. This one's going to be a quick one. I do want to talk about how Utah becomes the first state in the United States to fully ban fluoride from any drinking water. It's surprising to me that Utah is the first state. I feel like all 50 states should do this. There should be a federal order on it, or at least all 50 states should have a state order on it. Fort Myers, where I live, just did the exact same thing. I think this is an extremely necessary step. So the studies on fluoride in our waters and fluoride usage with humans, fluoride lowers your IQ. It makes you dumber. This has been proven, and there are arguments about how it's healthy for your teeth, even though they put it in our toothpaste already. Why do we need it in our drinking water? But why does the government need any oversight over our teeth? Why are they putting fluoride in our water? Because they're saying it's good for your teeth. I'll take care of my own teeth. How about you just give me water that's not poisoned, that's not going to lower my IQ? Like, what? Why is this a conversation? Why are us as Americans even discussing this? How is this a controversial subject, and how is this something that hasn't been passed in all 50 states? I feel like I could walk out my door and ask every one of my neighbors, hey, do you think there should be fluoride in the drinking water or no? And I cannot imagine a single one of them saying yes. I would have a lot of questions for them if they did. And any single person who supports fluoride in drinking water, please leave a comment, please leave a message, send me a personal message or an email. I'll definitely respond. I'll even have you on the show if you'd like. But why? Why do you want fluoride in the drinking water? Why do you want to lower the IQ of yourself and other Americans? What is your gain? What is the gain of the... I don't understand. None of it makes sense to me when it comes to things like that, but I hope that us as Americans, we can continue on this path that Utah is doing, where we just ban it completely from the drinking water, because there's no reason for that to be a thing. I do want to go on to our last few topics. So I want to show you guys a quick video. This is a video that the White House posted. I love when the White House posts stuff like this. They posted one other video like this, but we finally have a White House posting kill cam videos when they're killing terrorists. I think this is something that I respect. I think a lot of Americans look at this and they think, why would they post that? It's just a violent video where, you see an explosion. There are definitely people dying in that explosion. But they're posting it because it's on Twitter, it's on X, a platform that is worldwide, a platform that these terrorists who did not die can still see. So if I'm a terrorist in another country and I see a video of a different terrorist I knew or heard of or whatever, any other terrorist getting bombed by a drone they couldn't see above the clouds, I'm going to think twice about my terrorist acts if I'm that terrorist. So I love the idea of the White House posting these videos, letting terrorists know we will find you and we will destroy you. It's not even we'll kill you. We will blow you up. We will make you into nothing. There will be zero remains. So I'm going to play the video for you guys. God bless America. I love this video. Patriotic as it gets. Bombing terrorists that's America right there. That's one of the things I love about America so much, is that we have no shame when it comes to bombing terrorists. Terrorists are the worst people in this world. They deserve death because they try and bring death to mass amounts of people because they disagree with them. We don't want to kill them because we disagree with them. We want to kill them because they are harmful individuals who do not deserve life. These people are people who rape, kill, they kidnap, they skin people alive, they torture people, they do all types of terrible, heinous, disgusting things, and I'm very glad that Donald Trump is wiping them off the face of the earth. They do not deserve one more breath of air, and I'm very sad that these people even made it as far as they did. I'm very glad that Donald Trump is taking out ISIS, is taking out all these different terrorist organizations across the globe, and I really hope the cartels are next. I would love the White House to post a video of them taking out 3 different cartels in one day. There's 3 very major cartels in Mexico. There's a lot more, and a lot more in South America as a whole, but 3 very major cartels in Mexico. And if Donald Trump posted 3 different videos of them bombing the heads of those 3 cartels in the same day, oh my God, it would feel patriotic. I would love that. I cannot wait for the White House to post those videos. I do want to go onto our last couple topics. So this one is one of the ones that's been blown out of proportion in the media. I've talked about this a little bit too, and I have a different take on it than a lot of the right-wingers in the media do. So this is about we're going to talk about the Peter Hegseth signal leaks and all that one more time. So I really don't think that Peter Hegseth should be fired. Democrats are continuously pushing for this right now, and it's rubbing me the wrong way. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but Mike Waltz accidentally added Jeffrey Goldberg, a known journalist, into a high-level signal chat where they were discussing bombing Yemen. And again, I think they should have came out, just said, hey guys, we messed up. This was a huge lapse in judgment, a lapse in security. Nothing imperative was given up though, and the target was still struck successfully, and nothing bad happened because of it, and we're going to move on together with it. But we are sorry, and we did mess up. Instead of that, they have continuously denied that there was any confidential information in the chat, which it seems like there wasn't confidential information. That is true, but there still was critical information that if it did get leaked, it could lead to negative things against America or American soldiers. So like I said, I feel like I'm on the other side of this compared to most conservatives. Most conservatives are just like, who cares? And in general, a little bit, that's what I'm like. Like I said, it's not the biggest deal. If Biden did this, I would have had a huge problem with it, and that's one of the reasons that I'm making a problem with it now. I do think that it is a huge mistake to allow a journalist specifically into a signal chat involving high-level discussions. But one of the things I want to get to is they're targeting Peter Hegseth over this. And I don't understand why. They're targeting him even though he's not the one who added the reporter to the chat. And that's one of the reasons that I think this whole thing is just a deep state setup. I think the deep state is trying to remove Peter Hegseth because they know he is not good for the deep state. He is good for Donald Trump's America. He is good for the America that the American people want, but not what the deep state wants. And if Mike Waltz is the one who added him in the chat, why is it even a question if we're going to fire anybody, why would you fire Peter Hegseth? Why wouldn't you fire Mike Waltz? Why would Peter Hegseth, who's not the one who added the person in the chat, he's just in the chat, be fired? It's just them looking for not only someone to blame, but the deep state trying to target a high-profile conservative who continuously challenges the deep state, challenges the Democratic Party, challenges the bureaucracy in this country. I think Peter Hegseth is an extremely smart, credible, and well-accomplished individual. He's a military veteran who has not only served this country in uniform, but he is now serving the country in the form of government. He is doing an excellent job. This, I think, was the one huge lapse, but I don't put this on Peter Hegseth at all. Like I said, I personally put this on Mike Waltz, unless new information comes out to me that says that Peter Hegseth was sitting next to Mike Waltz when he added him in the group chat and was laughing about it. Like, I don't understand the idea of, why is Peter Hegseth being targeted in this investigation at all, unless it's just a deep state, unless it's the deep state just trying to take him out of politics, take him out of the Trump administration. They obviously don't like him for some reason. Democrats, when they don't like somebody, will do everything they can to try and tear that person down. That's the Democrats' way of doing things. They love to tear people down, try and make them seem like they don't deserve anything. I want to see what more information comes out on this. I'm not going to continue to report on this topic a ton because I've already talked about it, I think, 3 different times now. But if there is new information, I, of course, will keep you guys updated. But with nothing new, like I said, I think they should have just apologized and moved forward. I don't think just saying to the American people that there was nothing, important in that chat, I don't think that's true. I think there was important information, even if it wasn't directly classified. Still important information that I wouldn't want journalists to see before the bombs actually dropped in Yemen. I do want to go on to our last topic today. Our last topic is going to be a quick one. This one, it's actually a little bit sad, but it goes to just show it's a video where a liberal and a conservative are arguing at a traffic light. The liberal is flipping off the conservative because they're driving a Tesla. They, start filming each other. And then you can see what happens in the video. I'm going to play it for you guys.
Hi, TikTok. Hi, live. Yeah, go ahead. Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
Front of traffic. You're not paying attention.
I'm paying attention to you.
I can do it too, you fucking dumbass.
Hey,
Hi.
you Joe Biden looking motherfucker.
Oh,
You
yeah,
suck
fuck
my
you,
dick, you
you
fucking
dumbass.
faggot.
Fuck
You
you.
faggot.
Oh,
Oh God. Jody, he just hit somebody. Jody. Oh God.
The two people in the video have pretty colorful language, but if you can't see what happened at the end, the person hit a kid with their car. The liberal was not paying attention. They were flipping the driver in a Tesla off. And I think the driver in the Tesla should have been paying attention as well, but they at least have autopilot. They at least have something to keep them at a maintained speed in the same lane and avoid any crashes or anything that runs in front of the car. That person is just looking out to the left while they're driving and they're making a right turn and they hit a kid. It's a terrible tragedy when liberals allow their own stupidity to hurt other people. A child got hit by a car because a liberal was flipping off a Tesla. I mean, if that person, A, isn't arrested, I would be very upset. But B, if they don't question every decision they've ever made and think oh my God, I might have, some anger problems. I might have some mental problems. I may need to talk to my family, talk to, my mother, my father, my brothers, sisters, whoever loves me, and get my head right, because I shouldn't be flipping people off, calling them the F word, while hitting a child with my car and acting like I'm the good guy. That person thought he was the good guy up until he hit a kid. Until he hit that kid, he was like, I'm doing the right thing. I'm flipping off this Tesla-owning Nazi, and I'm showing him, and then he hit a kid. He hit a child with his car because he was distracted flipping off a Tesla. If this doesn't show the utter stupidity of some liberals around this country, I don't know what does. I'm James Pascalides. This has been America Unfiltered, episode 37. I'm signing off today. I hope you all have a blessed day, a blessed Friday, and a blessed weekend, and I will see you guys Monday. Thank you.